G'day guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Wildkard. Thank you for watching the Wildkard Rugby Show. Like, comment, and subscribe. And yes, you are here today because we're just 2 weeks away, less than 2 weeks away, to the November invasion tour of the Southerners. And we will be heading up north to reclaim some of those valuable, treasured Rugby World rankings back to the Southern Hemisphere. And yes, I am looking forward to this tour very much. And yes, obviously, because we are heading up north, we will be changing the laws to our favor, right? The 20-minute red cards will be deployed for the invasion tour. And it is interesting because the Northerners has resisted the idea of the 20-minute red cards for many years. I'm actually pretty sure this is the first time a 20-minute red card is going to be played in the Northern Hemisphere, like in Europe at least. It might be played in Japan at some point, but it's definitely 20-minute red cards, at least at the test match level, played in the Northern Hemisphere. Maybe except for the game between the All Blacks against the Springboks played at Twickenham in the Rugby World Cup warm-up match. That might be a 20-minute red card. Outside of that, this is at least officially a 20-minute red card being played in the Six Nations strongholds. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to taking a lot of points, right? Having this law play into our favor. So yes, so the law actually clarified a bit by the World Rugby. This has always been the case. Being in Southern Hemisphere, there was a lot of misunderstanding of how the 20-minute red cards work. People thought that the 20-minute red card completely replaces the red card, which is not the truth. So the 20-minute red card only applies to what they called technical red cards. Things like, getting 2 yellow cards in the same match, or, accidental head collision, technical, the foul that leads into a red card. It's a 20-minute red card, which means the player will be off. The team will play with one player less for 20 minutes, and then they can replace that player. The player that received the red card cannot come back on. They can replace that player after 20 minutes to get back into the full complement of 15. But the traditional full suspension red card still exists. This has been the case all along in Super Rugby as well. If you were to say punch somebody in the game, or if you were to verbally abuse the referee, something that's called a deliberate act of foul, you will still be sent off for the entire duration of the game. Yeah, so if you do something extremely egregious, that referee will determine you could still be sent off permanently as a result. And this actually happened in Super Rugby. A couple of Fijian players in one of the games got the emotion got out of hand. There was a bit of a fish sandwiches being thrown sort of thing, and people were sent off for the full duration in that match in Super Rugby. So it's not something that's always been the case. It's not something that the 20-minute red card's not something that's there to replace the full red card completely. Something that people really need to understand. And also the countdown clock, the shot clock has been kind of like expanded to finally include the line out, the scrums, to make sure that it only takes 30 seconds. The law book has always stated that the line out and the scrums only should take 30 seconds, but it was never enforced because safety, whatever, right? So that has always been the case. It's finally going to have a shot clock being played. The one little change, actual change to the timing, is that the 60 seconds to take a penalties and conversion, I'm pretty sure it used to be 90 seconds according to the law book, even before the shot clock. It's been that for like decades, right? It's always been 90 seconds. Finally they realized that's probably a bit too long, so they reduced that down to 60 seconds. There were some issues where people would I think I saw this in maybe in six not Six Nations, it might be in the URC. People were just taking like a lot of time because there was 90 seconds allocated after the try has been scored. It's kind of just let the clock tick down a little bit for everyone to get a bit of a break, and nobody really wanted to see that. Another really good addition to the law change is that the referees will be using the microphone to explain the decisions that are made on the field live during the match. So yes, there will be a live explanation from the referee, which will make the viewing experience a lot better for the viewers at home. And this will also be broadcasted through the microphone systems at the stadiums as well, so people will be able to hear that live in the stadium of what the referee has decided to be the case. So yes, that's a little bit interesting stuff to look forward to for the November Test series. Now, Now, you are here today, obviously, because I'm gonna have a bit of a rant about Rugby Australia and all that sort of stuff. Finn Morton, this guy is a writer for Rugby Pass. I'm pretty sure he's a northerner, and yeah, he's wrote this article which I really thought was quite fucking disgraceful, to be honest. Like, excuse my French. And he basically came out and touted and retouted the Rugby Australia propaganda from the chairman that was fired, right, of the Joseph Suaalii deal, and try to pang this propaganda of that Rugby Australia should be spending more money to buy more NRL players, especially someone like Nathan Cleary. Now, Finn Morton, this is kind of like, seeing the blind man walking next to the cliff, and you just, guiding the blind man walk off the cliff, right? Finn Morton, this is a bit of a disgraceful article you've written here, and shame on you to really spew the propaganda. Just let me point out, right? So again, he has reiterated that the fact that Suaalii has joined the Joseph Suaalii, the $6 million man. If you don't know who that is, I don't blame you, right? Has joined the Wallabies, and that has given a lot of media attention, and this has basically paid for itself. $6 million has already been paid off, all the media attention that it's been getting, right? People, all the people laughing at how stupid Rugby Australia has been. It's apparently worth the money, right? Worth $6 million for being laughed at for being stupid. And he has also reiterated McLennan, who was the former chairman that was fired because of these deals, like, getting Eddie Jones in and all that sort of stuff. And he has, Finn Morton has reiterated some of those points from him, including the fact that, right, McLennan thought that Suaalii was a big player to drive interest in rugby, right? To the point that Hamish McLennan claimed that Joseph Suaalii was a global rugby superstar before he even pulled on a Wallabies jumper. By the way, I watch rugby religiously, and I dabble in a bit of rugby league now and there, right? I never even heard of Suaalii before he signed with Rugby Australia for outrageous price. And the only reason I knew he was signed because of the outrageous price they put on him. And you might be thinking, oh, Wildkard, you're just you just don't know what's going on in the rugby league world. Well, maybe I don't, right? But it's something it's really interesting, right? Because it's really easy to see how popular someone is just by looking at their social media accounts, right? I mean, you're getting him over to try to drive fans into rugby union. Surely he should have a massive social media following, right? So all you have to do is look at Suaalii's media account. How many people did he have? What was it not showing? It's like 100,000 people. Oh yeah, 98,000 followers. $6 million for $98,000 followers. Do you think that's a good investment? And by the way, I checked this when he was signed because I didn't know who he was. He was about 20,000. Like, Rugby Australia handed him like 80,000, some followers for signing him. Everybody wants to see who this guy is, right? And if you're like, oh, man, come on, well, God, like, that's pretty good, right? Here's someone who's actually famous in rugby league, right? Reece Welsh, 500,000 followers, who's actually more talented than Suaalii. And you have idiots like Finn Morton, right, repeating the stupidity from Hamish McLennan that Suaalii is a global superstar that everybody knew that's going to bring recognition to Rugby Australia before you even put on a fucking jersey. Shame on you, Finn Morton. And by the way, there was 4 articles and an interview with Reece Zammit, who doesn't even fucking play rugby, on your website. Okay? So just cut the shit. Fuck me. Anyway, moving on. So yes, Suaalii is announced in the Wallabies tour. My speculation, I initially thought he was gonna get at least one season of rugby with the Waratahs before debuting at the Lions tour, maybe in one of the club rugby games, right? And then head up to the Lions tour to play against the British Irish Lions. That's what I thought was going to happen with him. But apparently they're just going to bring him straight in and potentially debut him against England. Yeah, Twickenham. Yes, I mean, and by the way, you guys, oh, come on, he's a professional player. No, he has never played a professional a game of rugby union. He's played rugby league. okay? And for anybody who thinks that rugby union and rugby league is still the same fucking game, seriously, watch some fucking rugby union and you will realize it's not even close. Other than the fact that you have to pass the ball backwards and make tackles and try to score and put the ball down in the goal, the two games are completely different in every other aspect, right? So just to think that he played rugby league is sufficient enough for him to debut in Test rugby at Twickenham against England, the Kings and the king of a kicking game against Steve Bothwick, right? It's just laughable, right? But hey, we will see. I thought he might, a good way to start him is to put him against the Bristol Bears. A few days before, for the Wallabies, for the Australia 15 team, right? So they did announce Australia 15 teams as well, but that's probably not going to happen. He's in the he's in the Wallaby side, so he's probably going to debut against England. We'll see. Joe Schmidt was repeatedly asked. Was his selection pressured by someone else, like Rugby Australia pressured him to get their $60 million asset, right? $6 million asset out there, and then Joe Schmidt basically said, no, that is not the case. I thought it was a little bit surprising. Joe Schmidt, like just a couple weeks ago, was saying how he didn't know that Suaalii was going to be available, and suddenly he's not only available, but he's in your team, Joe Schmidt, right? And he came out and repeatedly said that he was not pressured by anybody else to select him for the Wallabies, right? Yeah, Joe Schmidt. We'll see how that goes, Joe Schmidt. You're on thin ice. The honeymoon period is over, mate. You better deliver some bloody results and get us off the 10th ranking, right? Otherwise, I'm starting losing faith very, very quickly, especially if you put him on the field and he starts, he does deliberate. If Joseph Suaalii gets sent off with a deliberate knock on with a yellow card, I swear to God, Joe Schmidt, I'll make sure you get fired, okay? If you put him on the field and he gets sent off a deliberate knock-on for a yellow card, I'll make sure you get fired. I make sure you get fired, Joe Schmidt. Anyway, I'm gonna just calm down a little bit, right? Anyway, let's talk about. I'm very, very angry today. Let's talk about the Wallabies squad this week. Going into the invasion tour, in the invasion tour, right? So we've got Alan Alatoa coming in, Angus Bell, the probs, Matt Fazler, Nick Frost, Langi Gleeson, Isaac Halea, Fraser McWright, Brandon Panga, Amosa, Billy Pollard, Tom Robertson, Lukem Salakai Loto, big return, Willie Skelton, and I always like Willie Skelton. He's a big boy, and I was a big fan of him when he was playing with the Waratahs. Jem Slipper, Carlo Tazano, and Tenela Tupou, Seru Uru, Rob Valentini, Jeremy Williams, and Harry Wilson. I actually thought, Eddie Jones, after what he's done to him, making him captain in that atrocious, Rugby World Cup campaign, I thought he may have burned the bridge with Will Skelton. So it's good to see that he's actually back in the squad for the Wallabies and potentially play for us again this year. In the back line, we've got Ben Donaldson, Tan Edmund, Jake Gordon, Letney Kitau, Max Jorgensen, Andrew Callaway, Samu Karevi. There was some talk that Karevi might have, he might have played his last game for, sorry, not Karevi. Samu Karevi is back. What's his name? The other Fijian guy. What was his name? Anyway, Samu Karevi, let's finish this. Samu Karevi, Nola Lasio, Tate McDermott, Hunter Paisami, Dylan Pish, Harry Potter. Harry Potter is back. He was injured a bit. He's actually Englishman. Plays for the Western Force, who wanted to play for the Wallabies. He's potentially going to get a shot here. Joseph Suaalii, Nick White, and Tom Wright. So the guy, that big name that was left out is, what's his name? We'll have a look at it in a sec. What's his name? The fact that I looked at Samu Karevi makes me blank out his name. Marika Corambetti. Yeah, so Marika Corambetti has been left out of the squad. And Joe Schmidt basically said he's a bit flat right now. He needs a bit of break, and this might be he might not be playing for the Wallabies ever. There's some speculations that he might not play for the Wallabies again after this, so we'll have to see how that goes. But yeah, Corambetti is left out of the squad. The Wallabies, the Wallabies 15, the Australia 15. You can have a look at that for yourself if you wish. There were some big injuries. Tim Ryan, I thought probably should have given him a go. Has suffered an ankle injury. Yeah, that's very unfortunate. I thought he was probably deserved a shot against Wales, but yeah, I mean, a bit of a joke how Team Ryan didn't get a debut, and Suaalii gets sent straight to the tour and potentially debuting for England against England. The mighty Springboks. They talk about something that's a little bit calming, a little bit happy. There's no debutants in the invasion fleet, and it shows Rasmus is very intent to try to get as many points as he can out of the Northerners. Going for a potential clean sweep here. Definitely going for a clean sweep here in the Northern Tour. So the big return is, my favorite player of the Springbok team, the greatest Springbok in the history of the Springboks, Damian Willemse. Okay, recovered from the dreaded, almost, right, career-ending finger injury. He's recovered from that. I'm so grateful he's recovered from that. I thought he was done. I thought his career was over. He's back. Okay, he's back in the Test rugby as well. I know he's played for the Stormers, but I thought his Test career was over. But hey, he will be back. And the greatest Springbok in history of Springboks is back, alongside of Franco Mostert, Achia Snyman, and Andre Esterhuizen. And they will be playing Scotland, England, Wales in their tour. So this will be a very, 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 very interesting series for the Bookers. So let's have a look at the players that are in the team. Though there was a little bit of change for the team. The couple of, I think there was an injury. So Johan Huebler was caught out alongside of Wilco Low, because Jan Hendricks Wessels has been withdrawn due to injury. So the updated squad for the Springboks is as follows: Thomas du Toit, Vincent Koch, Wilco Low, Frans Malherba, Ox Nche, and Gerhard Steenekamp. And for the Springboks, in the front rowers for the props. For the hookers, we got Johan Huebler, Malcolm Marx, Bungi Bungnabi. The reason they brought up two players is because of the fact that I'm pretty sure Jan Hendrik Wessels can play both hooker and prop. So they have to bring up two players to cover the positions that he was covering. I'm pretty sure that's why. And yeah, for the hookers, Johan Huebler, Malcolm Marx, and Bungi Bungnabi. In locks, Eben Etzebeth, Franco Mostert, Ruan Nokia, and Achia Snyman. In the forward pack, in the loose forwards now, we've got Peter Sepp du Toit, Sia Khaleesi, Elrich Low, Huaga Smith, Marco van Staden, and Jasper Visa. Scrum halves, we've got Jaden Hendricks, Kobus Reinach, Grant Williams. Grant Williams. Fly halves, Manny Lebok, and Hunter Pollard. Centers, we've got Lukam Yo Am, Damien Delenda, Andre Esterhuizen, Jesse Creel. In the backlines, we've got, in the loose back, we've got Kurdy Adensart, Apalele Farsi, Cheslin Kobe, Villa LaRue, Marco Zulu, Mapingpi, Kanan Moody, and the greatest Springbok in the history of the Springboks, Damian Willemse. He's back. He's finally back. Oh boy, I'm excited. I am very excited to see this, to see Willemse back onto the field in that famous 15 jersey that he has made famous. Okay, moving on. So yes, enough ass kissing, right? Okay, now let's move on. So the All Blacks will be playing Japan this weekend. The team has been announced for the All Blacks. A couple of debutants will be playing against the Japanese side. So yeah, this is a pretty strong All Blacks team. Tamati Williams, Osafa Amua, Pasilio Tosi are all very, very good ball carriers. Sam Darrell and Patrick Tuipulotu comes in number 5. Patrick has been handled the captaincy. He has been injured a little bit in and out. He was basically the preference in the starting number 5 jersey. And starting lock position alongside of Scotty Barrett. He's back at number 5. Sam Penny Finau, number 6. The big man, number 7. Sam Kane gets the vice captaincy. And number 8, the bloodline player, Wallace Satiti, right? Wallace Satiti comes at 9. And number 8. Number 9, Cameron Roygard. Another huge return for the All Blacks. Roygard was so unfortunate to be injured in the Hurricanes team. And, oh boy, looking forward to this one. And he's alongside of Damian McKenzie. This is probably the night 10 combo that Razor Robinson wanted to play since the day one of him being in office. Number 11, Mark Talea. Number 12, Anton Lennon-Brown. Number 13, Billy Proctor. Number 14, Seville Reese. Number 15, Stephen Pedro Feta. And in replacements, we've got George Bell, Ofa Tuanga Fasi. Number 18, Fletcher Newell. Crusader Tade Prob. Number 19, Josh Lord. Number 20, Peter Lakai. Number 21, TJ Perenara. Number 22, David Havili. And number 23, another huge name I've been looking forward to potential to debut for the All Blacks, and that is Ruben Love, the Hurricanes fullback, who's been absolutely spectacular and really, really, really good kicking game. Looking forward for him to debut for a while now, and he's finally here, boys. And so obviously the Northerners have announced their team to defend their their pride and their home. The French has announced their 42-man team. The biggest name is obviously Antoine Dupont, as he hasn't played the Six Nations, so he'll be back to playing 15s game. Everybody's very excited. All the women are cheering. All the children are dancing around in France for the imminent return of the king of rugby and the emperor of rugby, the emperor of France, Antoine Dupont. And obviously, there was some player being left out due to injuries and whatnot. Julian McCon has been left out. And then there was Roman Intimac and Cyril Bayer. Both should be okay, but they're kind of like waiting to see if they're going to be fit. And they're currently not in the squad. So you can go through this French team if you like. And I think you can just go through them yourself. This is going to be just taking way too long to go through this report. We've also got the Irish has also named their team. Caelan Doris has been named their captain. And Peter Romani was the captain. He's basically taken over. I guess Peter Romani is on the edge of retirement. So they kind of just wanted to moving that into the next generation. So Armani has been good. And there's some talks that Andy Farrell might actually name what's his name? Caelan Doris as a potential Lions captain for next year. And so that's for the Irish team. There's pretty much go through looking at the players yourself. Let's quickly go through Ireland because they are the number one team in the world. Ryan Baird, Finlay Bellum, Ty Byrne, Tade Prob, Caelan Doris, the captain, Ty Furlong. Ty Byrne is not. Ty Byrne is the lock. Ty Furlong is the pop. Cian Healy, Dave Heffernan, Ian Henderson, Rob Heron, Cormac Izuchukva. I actually don't know this guy. Ronan Keller, Joe McCarthy, Peter Romani, Tom O'Toole, Andrew Porter. Massive legs. Again, looking forward to seeing him play every time. Kian Prendergast, James Ryan, Nick Timoni, Josh Vander Fleer. In the backline, Aki Bungdi Aki, Craig Chasey, Jack Crowley, Kieran Frawley, Jameson Gibson Park, Mac Hanson, Robbie Henshaw, Hugo Keenan, James Lowe, Stuart McCloskey, Connor Murray, Calvin Nash. Connor Murray, I thought he retired. I thought he actually retired. He's still here. Didn't he announce his retirement? Anyway, Calvin Nash, Jamie Osborne, Sam Perdergast. Is that wait? This are these guys related? There's another Prendergast. There's another guy. Are they related? It's like anyway, I don't know either of them, and they're both relatively new to the team. Gary Ringrose and Jacob Stockdale. Stockdale is back. That is really good to see. He's been out of the team for quite a long time. He played at the trial match before the Rugby World Cup. There was some talks that he might have gone to the Rugby World Cup, but he couldn't make it. So it's good to see him back. Jacob Stockdale. And training panelists. So these, I guess, are just people holding tackling bags. So yeah. Okay. Anyway, moving on. So we've got Scotland also made some changes as well. They have named a new captain, the Aussie himself. So Simone Tuipulotu has been named the new captain of Scotland with Finn Russell as vice captain. So again, there's a bit of a move towards kind of like the next generation. So Roy Darge and Finn Russell has been named vice captains with a bit of a surprise selection. Tuipulotu has been named as the captain for Scotland. Let's quickly go through this team as well. Ewan Ashman, Josh Bayliss, Jamie Bartlett, Jamie Barty, Gregor Brown, Scott Cummins, Luke Crosby, Alex Craig, Roy Darge, Jack Dempsey, another Wallaby there. And then we've got Freddie Douglas, Matt Fagerson, Xander Fagerson, the brothers, Grant Gilchrist, Patrick Harrison, Will what is this guy name? Will Hurd, Edwin Johnson, Nathan Nathan, the Scottish play, and not supposed to say that. And we've got Elliot Mills, Ben Muncaster, Darcy Ray, Dylan Richards. Oh my god, these capital letters are making it really hard to read. Jamie Ritchie, Alex Samuel, Pierre Schumann, Rory Sutherland, Max Williamson. We got backs Matt Curry, Jamie Dobie, Darcy Graham, Adam Hastings, George Horn, Roy Hutchinson, Hugh Jones, Tom Jordan, Blair Kinghorn, Stafford McDowell, Harry Patterson, Ali Price, Aaron Reed, Kyle Rowe, Finn Russell. We've got Moses Tuipulotu, Sione Tuipulotu, Duhan Fundermerva, and Ben White for Scotland. Right. I don't want to do the French team because I'm like butchered all of the names. So anyway, let's move on. We've got, so England Rugby has announced a new tier of non-contact rugby for under 15s. So England Rugby wants to increase the participation rate. They are struggling with players wanting to play rugby because apparently it's too dangerous. So they wanted to increase the participation rate by having non-contact rugby for players, for kids under the age of 15. There will still be contact rugby played under the age of 15, but it's just like an additional option for some kids if they don't want to be they're worried about the safety. They can play the non-contact version for them. And in Wales now, Gareth Davies, oh boy, has announced his retirement. Oh, thank God, by the way. This guy has given so much nightmare for the Wallabies, especially at the Rugby World Cup. I'm so glad to see that he's finally retired. Anyway, moving on. So Michael Cheika, famous, had a bit of a spray to his team. So he's either less the Tigers, and then they made a comeback win in the second half. So yeah, there was a classic Cheika halftime spray. Helped the Wallabies a number of years ago, 2018, to come back against Argentina in a game where they were losing at halftime pretty badly. So yeah, the Cheika spray at halftime is a bit of a world famous thing. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know your thoughts, and I'll see you guys for the review of the All Blacks versus Eddie Jones's Japan this weekend. Thanks for watching. Cheers. Have a good one.